What's up, everyone? Today I'm going to be doing another coaster fight. This is of Great American Scream Machine and Wild One. These are two classic wooden roller coasters. Great American Scream Machine was built by PTC, Philadelphia Spawn Coasters, and Wild One was built by the Din Corporation, which also built the Georgia Cyclones. So today I'm going to be comparing these two coasters because I think they're kind of alike, I'd say, because they're both classics and they're both at Six Flags Park. So I think this would be a good coaster fight to do. So I'm going to compare these two rides of a series of categories. So let's get started with our first category, which is height. And this is based off of, compared to the tallest wooden coaster in the world that I know of, which I'm comparing this to, the height of Lightning Rod, which is maybe 200 plus feet. So, yeah, because of the terrain. So I'm going to compare it to, 200 feet. So Great American Scream Machine's getting a 5 because it is 105 feet, and Wild One's getting a 4 for being 98 feet. So they're both about average for wooden coasters. Not too tall, but not too short. Okay, let's move on to the drop category. This is just not of how tall the drop is, this is of how good it is. And both drops are okay. Great American Scream Machine's drop is alright. I'm giving it a 5. Wild One's drop is alright as well. I'm giving that one a 5 as well. Next up is speed. Great American Scream Machine goes 57 miles per hour. That's a pretty good speed for a wooden coaster, so I'm giving it a 7. And Wild One's getting a 6. It goes 53 miles per hour, so I feel like it deserves a 6 for that. Next up is layout. And Great American Scream Machine is getting a 5. Great American Scream Machine has kind of like a basic out and back layout. Wild One's getting a 7 because it does have a nice little 540 degree helix, which is really awesome. I love that element so much because it's so crazy. And also I really like the double downs and stuff and double ups. Wild One's a little more unique when it comes to layout. So I'm giving Wild One a 7. Next up is smoothness. Great American Scream Machine's getting a 4 for smoothness. And that's because this ride is not that smooth at all. It is a very rough wooden coaster for what it is. Now, for me personally, I didn't think it was too unbearable because the fact that the airtime made up for it. So I'm kind of giving it a 4 just because it's not the roughest wooden coaster I've ridden, but it's not even close to the smoothest. So I'm giving it a 4. And Wild One's getting a 7. I actually found Wild One to be pretty smooth for its age, which shocked me in a good way. I was very impressed with the smoothness on Wild One. It was very smooth for vintage Woody, so I'm giving it a 7 for smoothness. Next up is transitions, and neither coaster really has much transitions, but if it did, none of these rides are jerky at all. I'm giving them both 10s. Very well done for transitions. Next up is elements. This is just based off airtime, and I'm giving Great American Scream Machine an 8. Now the airtime hills for Great American Scream Machine, here's my thing. Airtime hills for Great American Scream Machine, they're all 10 out of 10. I give it a perfect 10 easily for airtime. The airtime on Great American Scream Machine when I rode it was absolutely incredible. But here's the thing, it doesn't have very unique airtime. It's just kind of like the standard hills and stuff. And also they changed the trains in Great American Scream Machine, which I'll explain in the restraints category later. But yeah, so I'm just going to give it an 8. And Wild One's getting an 8. Wild One has some pretty good airtime. I was pretty impressed with the air on Wild Ones. It was not bad airtime at all. I thought it found it to be pretty good. So I'm giving that an 8. Next up is intensity. This is how intense the coasters are. And Great American Scream Machine is getting a 5, which is, it's not that intense. I'd say the most intense part is really those airtime hills, which those are pretty crazy. But G-force wise, you're not getting much in Great American Scream Machine. If you're a big fan of coasters but don't really it to be really intense, I'd say you're good for a Great American Scream Machine. I'd say you'd like it. So I'm giving that 5, and then I'm giving Wild One a 6. Wild One had a decently crazy moment, which is that final helix, which is pretty insane. But other than that, it's just kind of like a Great American Scream Machine, kind of like the airtime hills and stuff. So I'm just giving that a 6. Okay, next up is the duration, and Great American Scream Machine is about 2 minutes long. So I'm giving Great American Scream Machine a 7 out of 10. And Wild One's getting a 6. It is about 1 minute 52 seconds, so not bad durations at all for these roller coasters. So I could say they're relatively high scores. Next up is pacing, and Great American Scream Machine gets a 7. My only problem with Great American Scream Machine's pacing is after the first drop, it really slows down. But then afterwards, it starts to pick up speed a little bit more. It's a lot better towards the second half of the ride and stuff. Wild One's getting an 8. Wild One has a pretty nice pace. I am very impressed with the pacing on Wild One. It doesn't really die down at all, so I'm giving Wild One an 8 for pacing. Next up is theming, and neither coaster really has great theme at all. They're both getting 1s. They're amusement park roller coasters, so what expect. Next up is the restraints category. This is what I was explaining with Great American Screeching, so I'm going to explain this. They changed the trains on Great American Screeching from the original buzz bars to like the same style restraints as Georgia Cyclone, which I think is the new trains for Georgia Cyclone. I have ridden Georgia Cyclone, and the restraints were not bad at all. But I'm just going to compare it to when I rode Great American Screeching as it was. And the restraints of Great American Screeching were absolutely incredibly comfortable. They were buzz bar restraints. They didn't touch you. That's how you get some crazy airtime. I'm giving it a 10. Fantastic restraints. I really wish they could bring back the buzz bar restraints. Georgia Cyclone restraints weren't bad, but I know some people said it found it to be rougher with the Georgia Cyclone trains, so I'd like to go back and ride American Scream Machine again. I just like to go back to Six Flags Over Georgia in general. Wild One, I found the restraints to be pretty good. I'm giving it an 8. They weren't bad at all. They were nice and comfy. So yeah, let's move on to the last category, which is setting, and Great American Scream Machine is getting an 8. Great American Scream Machine has a beautiful setting for the first half and then the final half of the ride. It's beautiful because it's over water. I love when coasters are over water. It just makes the ride so much better. But the back half of the ride's kind of towards in a field, so that's why it's not as high of a score. And then Wild One's getting a 6. Wild One's setting is alright. It's kind of partly in a field, but then also kind of over pathways too. So I'd say it's not too bad of a setting. And now we have our wait a minute, tie alert. We have a tie, so that means it's not over yet. We're going to have one more category, and that is the beauty category. So this is a tiebreaker category, and Great American Scream Machine is beautiful. It is a very iconic coaster. I'm giving it a 9. Wild One's decently beautiful, so I'm giving it a 7. But yeah, Great American Scream Machine is an iconic wooden coaster. It's an ace coastal landmark. I'm not sure if Wild One's an ace coastal landmark. Someone comment below if it is, but for what I know, Great American Scream Machine is an ace coastal landmark, and it is a beautiful and iconic roller coaster. Now we have our winner, and you all know what it is. It's the Great American Scream Machine at Six Flags Over Georgia. I really enjoyed both of these classic wooden coasters, but Great American Scream Machine, in my opinion, is just a bit better. I like both, but I prefer Great American Scream Machine, even though it is the winner. That'll do it for this coaster fight. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment down below which one of these two do you prefer. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe as well for more videos in the future. Also, don't forget to check out the social media link, which will be in the description below. Catch y'all next time. Have a theme-tacular day.